Yeah.
Dude, I feel like...
That's why I said his character just speaks in scattered drum noises.
It's just like, hey, Christian, how do you feel? It's like, blah, 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 blah. That's it.
No words, just drum.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. Alright, I'm cutting this.
Is this the intro?
Down there because
Oh,
nobody
yeah,
knows.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yep.
you have to like really search to know who you are.
You just somebody's voice.
Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
I'm making nonsense. This is
I'm Brandon Bailey,
Holy t-shirt.
and we got
and
a
I'm something.
Christian Clark, our
Morphous
Morphous Ball
Ball
Space
Space
Dust. He's over there.
He's in the room. I
Our
promise. You just
strange
can't see him.
He's
I'm also in your room.
He's a little tired.
He's with you. He's with you everywhere. Okay, so today on Raoul and the Show, this is going to be our first full episode, so thank you guys for joining us. If you haven't, go follow our band page on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. I think we have a Twitch now, I don't know.
Yes.
And then
Yes, hoping to make use
YouTube.
of it all.
If you're not following us or subscribed on YouTube, please
Only
do.
fans.
OnlyFans, yes.
OnlyFans that Christian is running. It's just a bunch of dust pictures. It's pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. All right, it's dirty. It's a bunch of it's dusty. It's dusty. And so yeah. So go follow us on all of our socials.
Yes, please.
So we are Raoul and the Dukes. We are a rock band, but we do this show, and we have a lot a lot of fun here.
Trying to come at you with some more entertainment.
Yeah, we have our first thing we want to let you guys know. We have an upcoming show for our friends of Brevity for their album release.
Yes,
their debut album.
Cannot wait to see those guys again.
That's going to be in South Carolina, March 20th, and it's going to be with Geared for Productions. Love those guys and everyone.
Burek, shout out to him.
Yeah,
helping everybody out.
Absolutely helping the local music scene out and helping musicians and specifically punk and rock, out all over the country. It's been a pleasure working with him. Additionally, we have our other friends from down south, Alpha. They're going to be coming up from Virginia to visit us on our next episode next week.
Rad, man.
And they're going to do a performance for you guys off their debut album. Because their album release show got canceled due to COVID, unfortunately. And we were supposed to play there, so they're going to come visit us in Philly here at Astro Monster Records, and they're going to do a couple songs off their album. We're going to get an interview with them and talk to Austin, the lead singer and guitarist. I've known him now for a couple of years. I met him on tour with my other band.
We just played a show with them.
Yeah, we played a show with them in Chesapeake,
back.
Virginia, back in November. So, so we're going to have them next week.
So cool that they're going to come out and do that. It's so cool of them.
Absolutely. So, additionally, another thing we want to start doing on the show is something, we wanted to start picking albums that have different meanings to us.
And doing, mini reviews, giving people some, recommendations and sort of that thing. But we don't want it to be, just a single album. We're going to change it up every episode, kind of give you something different every time.
This week we wanted to go generic, and we wanted to give you guys the top 3 albums that we think are of all time. And this was, for all of us, it was pretty hard, except T. T had his,
he was
T had his ready, but we, none of us, Brandon's flipping coins. So we, it's been a pretty hard decision here. So we're gonna start with T, since he was ready with all of his.
We'll go down.
So T, top 3 albums of all time. You go ahead.
Top 3 in no particular order. I would say, "Kill 'Em All" by Metallica.
Yes.
"Master of Reality" by Black Sabbath, and last but not least, which would be Pink Floyd's "Dark Side of the Moon."
Yeah,
and do you want to talk about them a little individually, your top favorite tracks on them, and how they're kind of inspiring to you?
My favorite tracks from all 3 would probably have to be damn, I'm gonna say "Seek and Destroy."
Ooh,
classic. Into the Void.
Yes.
And probably it's a hard one between Time.
I know. Into the Void.
It's a 3-way tie for Pink Floyd between Time, Money, and what's the other one? I can't remember what song it is. But yeah, there's a 3-way tie in there somewhere.
Dude, I mean, those are solid picks in my opinion. Fuck.
Honestly, it was.
Any reason why you picked them? You know what I mean?
I just when it comes to all 3 of them, obviously because I'm a really big metalhead, Metallica takes the cake. But when it comes to Pink Floyd and Black Sabbath, I just like the mixtures that they put in there.
Dude,
There's so much going on.
I mean,
and it's like non-stop entertainment the whole way through.
Those bands, all of them helped me get into so many different varieties of music within their own music. You know what I mean? All those bands are great examples of like how a band can change and mature and those sorts of things. And like Kill 'Em All, dude. Like you listen to Metallica's new stuff, Kill 'Em All, man. That's like, it's crazy to think they came from that raw, fucking aggressive energy.
Super fast.
I love it, bro.
And they got so tight, you know. They're just like definitely one of the tightest bands together. Like for real, they all play so well together.
Kirk and James are really tight. Lars can suck it.
Whatever.
But you know, yeah. I mean,
we'll have our opinions on that.
Yeah, Lars. Yeah. So Sanger. So yeah, those are great album choices. We're not getting to Sanger. So those are great album choices, T. Brandon, I want to hear yours.
No, we're going to you.
Oh, we're going in order?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So for those of you that know me, know the Allman Brothers are probably my favorite band of all time. So
and you guys, if you don't know the Allman Brothers,
go look up the Allman Brothers
and everything about them.
Every guitar player they've ever had, Greg Allman himself. So Allman Brothers have an album they released in 1973. They released it after Duane Allman, the founding lead guitarist, got killed in a motorcycle accident, and he recorded some of his last tracks on that album. The album immediately went gold, if I'm not mistaken, and now has gone like double or triple platinum in the years since. It's one of the best-selling albums, Southern rock albums of all time, and it's just incredible. They have recordings from their show from the Fillmore East in 1971.
That was like released in like different ways. Like,
yeah.
Years,
so they've had like well, there's so many different recordings. They did like 5 or 6 nights at the Fillmore East, and they took a lot of those recordings and released the best ones on Eat a Peach, and then they released at Fillmore East. And at Fillmore East itself and Eat a Peach, actually, I researched this today, are both on the National Film and Music Registry in the Smithsonian.
Deserve to be in that.
So it's like, you know, they I mean, for being culturally significant to like music
sold
history.
So many copies, really.
Well,
you know,
and it's just
it
just influenced so much music, and so I mean, Eat a Peach definitely is up there for me because it's not necessarily a live album, but it's kind of a half and half. They have live tracks on it, but they have some of the greatest fucking studio tracks on there. Melissa is on there.
Beautiful song. Yeah,
Little Martha, Blue
beautiful.
Sky. You know, all great songs. And then you have songs from Fillmore East like One Way Out.
Mountain Jam, dude.
Yeah, Mountain Jam, which is a theme from a movie, if I'm not
basically
mistaken.
what we like do incarnate. Like
yeah,
right
it's like that's the Dukes in one song. It's like a 23-minute song or something like that. It's something ridiculous. Then they have a 23-minute version of their song Whipping Post, which the studio version of is 5 minutes. So that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Great. But yeah,
stuff.
so sorry.
Great album.
I can go on forever about that.
Yeah.
The next album
covered it all in that.
Yeah, the next album I have to pick is self-titled Gorillaz. Now, another thing, if you guys know me,
man.
Gorillaz is like my favorite artist. Like Damon, like
where would we be?
Yeah, I don't know where anyone would be without Damon Albarn. He's definitely I definitely consider him one of the greatest like songwriters and influenced. I mean, Blur's incredible. His solo work's incredible, and then him and Jamie Hewlett coming out with Gorillaz. I mean, the incredible animation, like the Tank Girl style animation, the music, and all the forms of electronic music being used, and the incredible storylines, and like,
incorporating all the people, just the zeitgeist.
Oh yeah, I mean, having Snoop Dogg
from,
and Elton John, and I mean, even Noel Gallagher's now in the Gorillaz universe, even though he hated the Auburn and Blur.
Well, yeah, and you know, Blur and Oasis had that feud, and it's just great. It's great to know that like.
But I mean,
stuff
there's
can
so
bring
many
people
Bobby
together.
Womack, Mos Def.
Because I see the Gorillaz as a very positive, like
so
kind of
many
influence.
There's so many people that just
Vince Staples.
Yeah. There's just so many people
Skepta,
that are
like,
Mavis Staples. Like, there's just so many people that are in the Gorillaz
and each
universe.
album is just mind blowing in so many different ways.
Yeah,
it's like sonically, like and
Absolutely.
they just push it every time.
And then if I remember correctly, last but not least, I was gonna pick a live album.
Favorite songs on Gorillaz though. Hold on.
Oh yeah. So favorite songs are Gorillaz. So favorite songs on the self-titled Gorillaz album. I mean, if you guys have seen us live, you know we do Clint Eastwood a lot. That song is
good song.
My favorite song probably by them.
Probably
Not
their
only
top
that, like I grew up
#1
watching.
song.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone knows that.
Yeah, and I grew up watching Clint Eastwood films, and like you know, you hear that theme from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and you're like, oh, that's so cool that like he incorporated that theme into a song, and like just from a spaghetti western from the '60s. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
Just the most obscure score you can even, and then put it on a melodica. Out of all things, like not even like you know have it as a whistle, like you transpose it to melodica. Just incredible musicianship, in my opinion. So I mean, Clint Eastwood definitely. And then you got tracks like Double Bass and stuff that's on there, and that are just like these crazy instrumental, like like futuristic like instrumental tracks. Star Shine's on there, I mean, just beautiful tracks on that album.
Yeah, for real.
And then
good lo-fi approach on that.
Man.
Well, then you have isn't Tomorrow Comes Today on that album?
Yeah,
so I know it technically came out on the
melodic
EP
track.
like beforehand. There was a Tomorrow Comes Today EP, so technically it didn't really come out on the self-titled album, but it came out on the self-titled album in my opinion. It's a great song.
That's a great song.
That was like their first hit. Like,
I mean, they have so many just like beautiful little simple. Like, I don't want to say some of them are ballads, but some of them are just spacey.
I'm getting sidetracked, and then so the next album I was gonna pick was gonna be a live album, but we're gonna save that because we wanted to do that as a separate segment. So I wanted to pick something by the Chili Peppers because the Chili Peppers were just like so influential to me as a child, like growing up, because my dad gave me like all these the early Chili Peppers albums, and I was gonna pick one of their newer albums, and I told Brandon what it was earlier, but I've changed my mind like after thinking about it all day. And so the album I'm picking from the Chili Peppers is the Uplift Mofo Party Plan, and like the only reason I picked that is like that was one of the first CDs my dad ever gave me, and he's like, here, you'll probably like this, and I had no idea who the Red Hot Chili Peppers were, and like that's like you got American Ghost Dance on there.
It's produced
and,
by George Clinton.
Yeah, I mean like come on, like that whole album, like incredible album. All right, so I don't want to go any longer on that. Like American Ghost Dance is an incredible song on that album. Pretty much every song on that album. The fact that it got like all the members that like helped out in the early years of the Chili Peppers,
Hillel died,
and Jack Sherman right before Jack Sherman just passed away. I mean R.I.P. But like he worked on that album too. You had what's his name? I can't think of the drummer right now.
Jack Irons?
Yeah, Jack Irons from Pearl Jam. Like that was before. Like he went to Pearl Jam. He drummed for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and he was just awesome. So. Brandon.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Both of you guys so far. That's good stuff.
So Brandon had some dilemmas.
Yeah, and this is only because my top albums have not changed for a long time. I'm sorry, I'm stuck in my ways. And it's funny because my music tastes have very much changed since I created my top albums list so long ago. But these are kind of in order. I hate to put music in order because to me, music's not really competition. Just kind of about like what you like. Everyone has their own way they relate to music and different emotions and stuff and moods. So I just like to kind of do whatever I feel at the time. You guys probably know that from listening to any of our music. So number one, the band I gotta give a shout out to because not a lot of people know them. Okay. Back from my MySpace days, Diablo Swing Orchestra.
Yes,
with fucking Pandora's Pinata.
Yes.
So. The funny thing is I actually own like all of these releases here. So yeah, Pandora's Pinata.
If you guys don't know who Diablo Swing Orchestra is,
amazing! Amazing Swedish fucking band, man. Avant-garde. I think that's how you say that.
Yeah, I would say they're like that.
Well, that's what they're listed as.
Yeah,
it's symphonic metal.
Letterman's are listed as metal.
I don't want to say that they're just metal, but when you look them up, most sites consider them as a metal band, which they do have the riffs. They bring the riffs, but
with the orchestral work they do and the vocal work, I mean, they have some incredible vocalists and orchestral. I mean, they have a full orchestra, and it's just. Everything is incredible. There's an incredible track. I'm pretty sure it's on Pandora's Pinata.
Okay, so yeah, I was going to bring that up. So this album came out like 2012, right when I was graduating high school. Kind of blew my mind. Like the dubstep thing was getting big, so it's like all these bass drops and nasty synth shit coming and everything was just kind of like in rock music and everything. It was just seeping into everything. It's just kind of blowing my mind how electronic music could be pushed that way. And so there's a song on here, definitely my favorite track of theirs by far. I mean, it might not be like the most defining track of theirs, but it's definitely the most mind-blowing. Justice for St. Mary is worth checking out. It has very symphonic, like folky, like kind of stuff, and then it gets metal, and then I don't want to give it away too much to describe it, but definitely some like glitch step, dubstep stuff going on in there.
It goes through. It's definitely like a classical, like almost a Baroque piece where it has like the 3 different movements. You know what I mean? You have the first movement, it's all soft and it's building up, and it builds up into the heavy like crescendo part of it, and then it just ends with the most absolute ridiculous cacophony.
Put your mind in the blender.
Noise. Yeah, I mean it really will put your.
But there's other good stuff on here, like there's like a 2-part thing. Like a lot of this stuff kind of fades and weaves into each other. It's not necessarily concept. At least I don't know. They're like prog rock, so it's like you have the metaphors in here are crazy. So you like How to Organize a Lynch Mob going into Black Box Messiah where they sing in Japanese like in there and stuff, and it has this funky like like on the keyboards like
it's absolutely insane. Yeah, dude, like it's crazy. Yeah, you got to get some onomatopoeias in here without killing yourself.
The little bits.
The little bits. But, so
there's another track, Aurora. It's like very operatic. I'll move on from that. They don't have the opera singer anymore. They're very, very tight still, though. I love those guys.
They had an incredible opera singer in their first few tracks, and she was just phenomenal.
So my next one, I gotta dig it out here.
He's digging more CDs out from our bookshelf of CDs right now.
This isn't necessarily what I consider Pink Floyd's best work, but because I feel biased to this album because it has my favorite song of theirs, period, on it, Echoes, which is just a brilliant song, and like one of my favorite movie of all time is also 2001: A Space Odyssey, so it's like that song is apparently like a conspiracy, thing. The same with The Wizard of Oz and Dark Side, where it matches up with the end, the Jupiter beyond the infinite part at the end, where he goes through the freaking monolith and it sucks him through a black hole, basically, and stuff. Yeah, so that song, being related to that, and like back in the day when I was just 18, and getting stoned for like the first time and stuff, like that stuff, like. Really was like, wow, this is psychedelic music and jam music. Like, this is fucking awesome. Because I was just playing metal and stuff most of the time when I was a teenager, getting into playing live music and stuff like that. So it was nice to get into different music and Echoes. Like, I had heard about it when I was studying music theory and the history of music in high school, and my teacher was always like, dude, Echoes, best Pink Floyd song. It's their best exploration into experimenting with sounds and stuff like that. And you can see on this whole album, basically, where their sounds developed into Dark Side, which is the next album from this. So it's always been my favorite because of that. Obviously, Echoes, best track, but it does have great stuff, like great acoustic slide guitar stuff, like Pillow of Winds and Fearless and Saint-Tropez, which Saint-Tropez is one of my favorite Roger Waters songs. And Seamus, they record a dog like singing on it and stuff like that. It was like recorded in their backyard or something.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then one of these days, shout out to another dubstep like kind of influence thing. Weird, all these things almost have like a weird electronic influence. Like one of these days has this fucking bass drop in it where the Roger Waters just hits this delay on it and it just slaps. Like each note is just like an individual slap on it. He's just going boom, boom, but it's going bum, 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 bum. And it's just like this, to me, it's like one of the first bass drops. Like, I've always thought about it like that. It's just like, it just hits you out of, and you're just like, whoa, whoa.
All right, Brandon.
All right, so.
It's your onomatopoeia.
So, what are we doing here?
Well, yeah,
I'm going to do it. I'm doing it.
All right, never mind.
You got it, man.
So, we're going to do another one down the road, just to let you guys know, for double albums. But.
He had to do it.
I had to pick the Beatles over Megadeth's Peace Sells, But Who's Buying, which is, a close contender.
That's
definitely an honorable mention with Peace Sells.
You can't pick this for the double albums now.
Yeah, it'll be an honorable mention. Yeah, just so you guys know, I guess I can't now because we made that rule.
Can't do it. So you're making it right now.
Where would I be without Megadeth? Definitely got a shout out to them, Dave Mustaine, all the guitar players, and that
love
band.
You guys.
Fucking, that band was huge influence on me. But also the Beatles. Where would I be without them either? Because even Dave Mustaine would probably say that. So. When I was in kindergarten, I remember seeing the posters of, like, the Beatles and, like, Kiss and stuff like that on the poster in music classrooms and stuff and being, like, kind of freaked out by, like, the Yellow Submarine, like, artwork and all that stuff and being like, what the like, this shit's nuts. Like, what is even going on? And then, you know, as I got older into guitar playing, I even in my metal days, like I kind of appreciated the simplicity of their leads and everything like that, and like George Harrison and John Lennon's guitar work, Paul McCartney's even too, because he played in like Taxman, and like you know, like they just knew how to write great songs, and like right when I started getting into different like kind of more chilled out music, they really were a band that helped me get into songwriting and stuff like that, because obviously they're all great individual songwriters, you know, in their own right, and great instrumentalists.
I just want to interject real quick, not to cut you off, but anyone that shits on the Beatles as a personality trait, you guys suck. And I'm putting that out there right now. Because I know a few of you probably watched this, and you're like, oh, I hate the Beatles. Like,
or maybe you think they're like
overrated.
Or maybe you
overrated,
think some of it's like elitist or something like that, or something.
Yeah, like I really don't care.
Just don't,
Greatest band of all time. Suck it.
I mean, to each their own, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't like the kind of diversity that bands like them bring to the table, and I mean, like, that's totally fine and everything, but I to get onto this album about that, to get onto this album about that, you know, it's just one of my biggest influence. Raoul and the Dukes, obviously, you play a lot of different styles of music, different genres, and this is a great example of how you can blend them all together and
make one great album.
Yeah, and make it. It doesn't even seem. I don't even want to see it cohesive, because it's absolutely not the most cohesive album on the face of the earth. But you can tell that it was all recorded at the same time and has the same vibe and on it, because they all wrote most of these songs and they were in India during the Maharishi like meditation sessions and all that stuff. So it always has that cool stuff. Most George Harrison, who's my favorite Beatles, fucking compositions on there, you know what I mean? So, you know, anything that has the most George Harrison. So my top favorite tracks on this, definitely Savoy Truffle. It's one of my favorite George Harrison songs, about Eric Clapton rotting out his teeth with chocolates. It's always a good time.
I love it.
So, and then, you know, you got like Dear Prudence, fucking one of John Lennon's best fucking guitar work and lyrics and stuff right there.
Fuck John
God,
Lennon, too.
yeah.
Love the Beatles, but I'm not saying I don't love the Beatles.
Okay, so we got Martha My Dear is one of my favorite Paul McCartney tracks written for his dog and stuff. The piano on that song. Like, so, God, I wish I could play like that.
Every time we do one of these reviews, Brandon's just going to mimic every noise. You guys don't even need to go listen to it.
I mean, that's
Brandon's fucking here scat.
So there you go.
Take it away.
Scatman. Scatman Brothers. So there, that's what you got for me. Like, you got Diablo Swing Orchestra, Pandora's Pinata, Metal, Pink Floyd, and Beatles, White Album.
All great selections.
Yes, thank you guys. You guys have good stuff, too.
Amorphous Ball of Spaces.
Yes!
Do you have album selection?
Man.
Do you at least want to pick one album?
3, no.
3, no, but 1?
Yeah, well, it's not even like a favorite album necessarily, but it's one that was influential for me, because I would say is Follow the Leader by Korn.
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude. All right.
If I can talk
Up until that point, I was like 6th or 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
Came home, and I was just listening to hip-hop at that point. I came home, put on the fucking, what was it? MTV or whatever, when they were actually playing videos.
Yeah.
Probably was.
Saw Freak on the Leash video.
Yeah,
And I was
dude.
instantly, like, sonically and aesthetically fascinated. And then that, like, just was the catalyst for just my expansion for music in general.
That's
So
awesome.
I would say, yes, Follow the Leader by Korn was, like, an inspirational.
You hear that, Korn? You guys influenced an Amorphous
Dude,
Ball of
I mean,
Spaces,
I'm not
dude.
gonna lie.
That's pretty impressive.
So there's
Right.
like Got the
That's a
Life,
good album,
Follow the
bro.
Leader. When I first saw those songs, Follow the Leader and Freak on a Leash, you know, all those songs
Oh
when
my
they
God,
were on
yeah, dude.
MTV, some of the first music videos I remember seeing.
And just like
constantly.
Yo,
And I mean,
same,
and
bro.
the Korn sound,
like
though,
4.
like that whole
That's
album
crazy.
is just.
Yeah, feel these fucking slap.
Oh,
bass
I
and shit.
know, dude. His bass work, like that was one of the albums that I was just like, oh yeah, I need to learn how to play bass, because this is awesome.
Korn, shout out to the new metal genre, you know, because Korn fucking came out with that
System of a
shit.
Down.
Like they came out with that shit in the early
Shout out to
90s, and
System
a lot
of
of
a
people
Down.
don't even realize that shit. You know what I mean? System of a Down, all those bands came later. You know, and it's like this stuff was starting like way
Oh yeah,
before
like
people.
91, 92.
It's crazy though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It didn't just come out of nowhere. Korn was bringing, and basically like suicidal tendencies and like infectious grooves and stuff like that. They
Yeah.
were starting to get into that groove kind of genre.
Hardcore
Pantera.
shit.
Pantera,
Yeah,
yeah.
bro.
It was awesome. So,
Prong, all those kinds of bands
what?
like that. Prong.
Prong. I was like, I didn't know what you said.
So yeah, but follow the leader, man. That's great. They got They got Ice Cube on that freaking song,
like,
Children of the Corn.
That's right,
Dude, I love that song, dude.
Oh, that's right. God, I want to go listen to that.
Yes, good stuff. Good
call,
stuff,
dude. You got anything else? You got any other albums?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't pick a favorite, man.
I know
it was hard.
That's the hardest.
hard.
That's the unanswerable question. Man.
Fair enough.
Well, you heard it first from
Typical,
Christian.
bro.
Sometimes these things are hard to
That's
choose.
my influential album, I guess.
Gotcha.
That's
solid.
I mean,
solid.
that's a pretty solid fucking choice. It's better than like Gary Glitter.
I'll never
or something.
forget it. Like I said, that day I'll never forget that day I came home and put it on and saw that video.
That's awesome.
Changed my life.
That is a pretty awesome album.
Yeah, I gotta say the same thing with Crawling by Linkin Park and
You know,
White Stripes Fell in Love with the Girl, like that Lego video. They were the first videos I ever saw as a kid on MTV.
Yeah,
I was
I
just
know.
like, music videos?
I know we're getting off track here, but like, I don't want to extend this, but seeing the "Tell Me Baby" music video for the Chili Peppers,
Same.
when Flea
Danny
throws
California
his bass
even.
straight through the ceiling, like in the music video, he's like in the studio, he just takes his bass and just goes, we just
He's
throws
playing
it.
with his head like up in the fucking ceiling.
Ceiling,
too,
yeah, he's like standing like on a chair and his head's like in the ceiling. He's just playing like bump and bump and bump. It's like it's awesome.
Good stuff. Good
All right.
nostalgic stuff.
So
yeah, sorry.
next thing we have, as you guys can see behind us, maybe you can see it. We have this like wheel piece of paper thing. It's called the Wheel of Gonzo, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna spin it for a bunch of like. We're gonna keep changing the wheel up because like I think the plan is that after we select an item, we're gonna like take it off the list and add another item. I don't know if we ever came up with that. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So we're gonna spin it
Just
and we're
keeping
gonna
the
pick.
Gonzoism alive.
Yeah, we're gonna pick a hot take, just random, out of nowhere, and we're just gonna start talking about it. And we're gonna try not to go too long in this, and we're gonna try not to get too heated. But you know, it could be something like I don't want to give anything away on this list, but one of these things is Brandon's views on the Beach Boys, and that's gonna get heated. I can tell you that's gonna get heated.
It's not gonna get heated.
I'm gonna spin this shit.
It's going to get pretty heated.
It's not gonna get heated.
And it
Oh,
fell off.
it's gone.
No.
First try,
He
we
took
fucked
it too
it up.
hard. He took
Let
it
me
too
tell
hard.
you about cheese.
Yeah. He just and the amorphous boss faced us. Just wants to talk about the cheese.
Talk about cheese.
Hey, can you hand me a paper towel? Because I spilled water too. Brandon knows what I'm
you
talking
got
about.
Oh, it's just confusing.
I just spilled a little bit on the mixer. Can I have it?
Yeah, here.
Oh. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna try to spin this again without fucking knocking it off.
Gently.
Alright, vaccines.
God
Alright.
damn it.
I knew this way. We picked a bunch of shitty ones. We did not pick really good ones here. So yeah, vaccines. So we wanted to pick vaccines. Doesn't have to be COVID in general. First off, I want to start this by saying we're not anti-vax. I just want to say that.
I mean,
Like,
I want to speak. I want to speak upon anybody. You know, I think that's more of an individual thing there.
I just want to say go vax your kids. I mean,
Yeah.
Brandon can say that. I just want to say go vax your fucking kids, you fucking idiots. Don't bring polio back, you fucking dumbasses. And that's all I want to say. But otherwise, vaccines, like, you know, they're fairly important. Like, I mean, I definitely think they're an important part to our society, at least the initial ones. You know, when you go there and you get stuff like your polio and your measles and your smallpox and
tetanus.
yellow fever and, your tetanus shots. And
I mean, all that
you know,
stuff that's, like, necessary.
those are all necessary shots. And even this COVID vaccine, once they get it figured out, is going to be a necessary shot because we're all going to have to go back to playing music. I mean, like, you know, it ultimately comes down to, like, having, you know, what they call is herd immunity and all that stuff. And I don't want to dwell on all the political aspect of it, but, you know, it's just, it's the only way we as a species has survived so long is because we developed vaccines and we developed antibacterial stuff that allows us to combat the world of diseases our frail bodies can barely, like, deal with. Like, as humans, like, you look at us on the whole spectrum compared to other animals, and it's just like,
We get sick.
we're fucked.
I mean,
Like, I'm
life is
surprised
just
we're
a-
still alive.
I mean, life, like, being, like, three-dimensional organisms like we are, it's just a constant battle with the microscopic, you know what I mean? That's what we need to realize.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
always going to have to be on the...
adapting
on
and
the trail to
yeah,
that,
man.
you know?
I mean, it's really.
I mean,
like,
and our science just gets better and better and better, so it's like you'd think we'd be more on top of things, you know, than we are, but sometimes stuff slips through.
Yeah, and I mean, like this COVID thing, and
I mean, remember, COVID's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, I know.
So let's
COVID's
try to keep that.
We're talking specifically about
vaccines.
the viral infection of it. I don't want to get. I'm not going into the political aspects of
Yeah.
COVID. But like, as far as what COVID was, like talking about vaccines, COVID was SARS, and it's a mutated form of the SARS disease that we had in 2004. And that's a proven fact. Everyone says that. It's SARS-2. It's literally SARS-CoV-2 or something like that. That's the proper, what's the acronym they're using for it. So it's like, there's something that we vaccinated. We have a vaccination for SARS. I got my vaccination when I was a kid. I remember having to do all that shit. And it's like, now, like, it mutated, and we have to adapt our vaccines to account for it. And now they're developing, like, vaccines in whole different ways, and, they're going to test them, and they're going to have trial runs, and I'm sure we're going to have some problems with them like we do everything. But the alternative is getting diseases that, we eradicated, like polio and stuff like that, and then we have new diseases like COVID that came out of nowhere and has wiped out a good portion of the population. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm harping in on this. Anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I have to say about the whole vaccine thing is, like, I mean, and I'm not, like, any big conspiracy theorist or anything with the whole thing about flu shots and that sort of thing, because they're always changing up formulas and shit for that, and I'm not saying that shouldn't get it. Like, if somebody has a bad immune system, definitely do it, but I don't get no flu shot, because every time I do, I feel like crap, and I always... seem to survive, flu season without it, you know what I mean? So I don't know. From what I've heard, it does stuff that, like, shrinks your pineal gland, what they say, like, the whole... So, yeah, I was talking about, before I cut off, we'll probably edit it back in there.
Yeah, I'll clip it back in somehow.
So we were talking about the, the vaccine
shrinking the pineal gland.
Yeah, the pineal gland and stuff like that. They talk about stuff like that. This is the same thing with, like, how they say, like, like Splenda and, aspartame, all that stuff does it. And
mysteries and conspiracies about
which is, if it's medically accurate, like, fine, that's cool to me, but it's like, I avoid getting flu shots anyway, but I'm not anti-vax. I just want to make that clear. Like, I agree with getting the stuff that's necessary, but if, like, there's people saying that flu shots are freaking, like, this or that, like, I mean, I don't need them anyway, so...
Yeah, and it's like, I haven't gotten the flu in 6 years and stuff like that. So, vaccinations, I believe, for diseases that can wipe out stuff like, again, like, people forget, like, the bubonic plague. Something we have a vaccine against, right? Okay, that wiped out literally a third of the population at the Earth at the time. If that was today, those numbers would be close to over 3 billion people. Nobody knows what a billion is, but, like, go look up what a billion is so you even can fathom that number. If you can fathom what a billion is, think of 3 billion people getting killed, just like that, in, like, a year. Like, that's the reason why we have vaccines and stuff like that. And I don't know. That was a pretty good hot take.
Yeah.
Fucking,
we can cool you down now.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it. Nah, don't do it. So other things we have.
Wait till the Beach Boys segment.
No, we didn't. We missed the Beach Boys segment. That's coming. So no, we're not doing that because that was on the wheel. We didn't spin it this time.
What do you mean? I thought everyone's doing it. I thought.
Oh, is everyone spinning the wheel?
Yeah. I thought we were doing like one spin.
Oh,
and then we talk about the topic.
Yeah, I thought we were just doing one spin.
Alright, I just want to give everybody a turn, but that's all
right.
No,
we can have everyone spin it like once a week. So next up on the thing we want to talk to you guys about. So what? Some of you guys might know we're in some other bands. I'm in a band called Letterman's. Brandon's
at least you
in a
could
band.
say projects and stuff too.
Yeah, like Brandon and I have a project with Bubba Harden, one of the honorary Dukes. It's called Nothing Special. Like I said, I'm in Letterman. It's a punk rock band that's out of here in Philly. And
you did Dom the Gonzo before.
Yeah, I did a solo project. Brandon has his solo project. Yeah, it was just kind of just me doing songwriting stuff. But so what Brandon has though, Brandon's in another band based out of Maryland called GreenRidge.
Yeah, a bunch of friends of mine from back in Ridgely, which is my hometown, back in Caroline County in Maryland, and it was just kind of a coincidence, that they came and played. I used to have this place at the house I used to have in Ridgely a couple years ago, back when I moved back here into Maryland. And it was a place called the Pit of Upheaval, because I had another band called Dawn of Upheaval, which is a heavy metal band at the time. And GreenRidge came over there and had a show, and it was just a two-piece with my buddy Cody, who was in my first band when I was 15. Relic started that with me, and then his friend Zeb, who's another old friend of ours from like high school and stuff. Well, Cody and Zeb are pretty much related, so they knew each other for a while. But they started a little two-piece, came and played like some funky blues instrumentals in my garage. Everybody freaking loved it, and I was like thinking like maybe they needed a lineup, so I offered to play bass for him because I had played bass in another band called Altrum like for a while, and I was starting to get some bass skills going on. So I started playing bass for him, and then we got a singer, Kayla Martinez, another really good friend of ours, and you know, just kind of took it from there. And like this whole like last 2 years, you know, Nicky was even in Dawn of the People for a while, and I don't think he was there when I was in GreenRidge, but he knows like just how much we were like doing stuff like back to back. Like I was doing like double duty like with these bands, you know, like it would be GreenRidge goes on first one night, then Dawn of the People, and then in the reverse the next night.
The next night it'd be like a Duke's Dawn of the People show. It was ridiculous couple of years there for a while.
Yeah, I was pulling double quite a lot.
Triple sometimes.
You know, so GreenRidge, so we're gonna try and get these bands. You got Alpha coming on next week, but for this one, I wanted to throw in something that hopefully all the GreenRidge fans out there that we have can appreciate. This is something that's never been seen before. We planned on getting these videos out in 2018. Never could, but this is that night on Halloween when they came and played in my garage the first time at the Pit of a People. And this is in this video it's called Fold Top Sandwich Bags, but it came to have another name, which you can find the song on our Bandcamp if you go to greenridgemusic.bandcamp.com. Our demo's on there, and the song is called Priority Now. Nice little funky thing, and we'll cut to that right here.
So this one is called Fold Top Sandwich Bags, and it's pretty cool.
want to check out GreenRidge, go onto their Facebook. It's a GreenRidge band page because they still haven't changed it. And I've tried to convince them to change it, but they won't change it.
Yeah, hopefully
so GreenRidge band page.
I know I gotta apologize to guys. I know I've been up here in Philly for a while, you know, so it's like I've been trying to do my part. But we've been recording an album for the last year, our debut album, Van of War. We're going to get that out to you as soon as possible. Luckily, we still have lots of live footage, lots of demo stuff out there, so you can check that stuff out. Check out Priority on there, the real version. Awesome. Hope they appreciate me posting that video. Thank you, GreenRidge.
So another thing, like I've mentioned previously, that we wanted to do on the show was have people send us music and have us review it. And we do have some music we're going to bring in next week, I believe, from Let's Disinfect. I still am waiting on that tape. But today we had a random person, a random band, hit us up on Facebook. They're called Big Fella. They don't have any social media right now. They're just getting their stuff together. But they sent us a demo of one of their songs. We liked it right from the get-go.
Yeah.
So we wanted to play it for you guys, and we wanted to give them a shout-out. So
give you just a little reaction to it, you know.
Here, Brandon's going to play it, and we're just going to listen along, and hopefully Brandon doesn't try to, like, play every instrument on his legs.
I'm not gonna tap and
tapping and yapping. Shout out to Chris Gill, our teacher in high school. I love him.
Oh, it's being.
Is it playing? Yeah, I mean that's it. Yeah, I heard the piano. I was like, yes. If you look really closely, you can see Brandon like fighting every urge not to play the drums.
Right?
His legs, he's like fucking trying. It definitely reminds me of like 10 years after, like that album we in 10 years after. That's what it reminds me of. No, I love that.
Wow. So yeah, that was so Big Fella sent this track called Wild over to us.
And we're hoping that they get some social media to get a band camp going so we can give them a better shout out. But stay tuned for you guys. We're definitely going to give them a shout out on our YouTube and our Facebook
nice
page.
Harmonies in there, nice little funky guitar solo.
Yeah,
we really like the jazz vibe.
Oh
yeah, for real.
And I love that piano. Again, I can't tell you how much I love that piano. It reminds me of like just that 60s, 70s rock and roll piano. You know what I mean? Like it really drives the rhythm to the song.
Very nice instrumental.
Great.
Very light.
So yeah, that's been Raoul on the show, you guys. We've had a great time this week. We just wanted to let you guys know, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our Facebook and Instagram are Raoul and the Dukes, and our Twitter and everything else, I believe, is Raoul and the Dukes.
Like the letter N.
Yeah, I don't know why, but, you know, we were a little late. So we tried our best with our names to make it all the same for you guys, but go ahead and follow us everywhere. It'd be a big help.
Please listen to our debut album, Groove Tunes. It's out everywhere right now. We got new stuff coming at you very soon, very, very soon.
Yeah, so we released our debut Groove Tunes, like Brandon said, back in February 20th. It's our debut album we wrote back in 2013 with Austin Hill, our deceased drummer, rest in peace, and Skylar Gannon, our lead singer, who's in Michigan right now. We're hoping he comes back soon. So we wrote that album back then, and actually Isaac McLaughlin, our saxophone player, has a songwriting credit on there too. And we just were able to release it this past year. It's been great. We have a brand new EP we just wrote that's coming out, all new material. And yeah, just stay tuned. So buy the ticket, take the ride. Yankee Nonsense. It's,
Brandon Bailey.
Holy t-shirt.
There's Christian down there somewhere in the room.
somewhere in between space and
Christian
time.
Clark,
Yeah.
our drummer, man, he
Yeah.
does a very good job for us.
He does it, man. He gets it done,
He
so-
holds the beat
Drums
down.
himself to
He's
sleep.
he's allowed to sit on the floor.
So follow, subscribe, share, tell your friends. See you guys.
Yes, have a good night or day, wherever you are in the world.
Yeah, true.